Well, so what we're going to do now is we're going to change the oil next, and then we're going to do a radiator hose that has fucking failed again.
Why is that a surprise?
So we're going to do those two things real quick and just maybe run over some little maintenance stuff. Okay, let's crawl from under here. Let's switch the car around, get the front end up so we can start working on the coolant hose and getting the oil drained out and the filter. I don't know if anybody else has this problem with their BMW, but it takes 2 pulls every time to get the hood to come up. So the first pull like primes the hood. The second pull really seems to do something. It's gonna come up. I've tried to grease this shit. I've tried so many little things. Nothing works. So I'm at a bit of a loss for it. Anybody that has any solutions, please hit me up. Y'all already know I've got to use the new light in any chance I can. So the coolant hose that I'm needing to replace, damn, it's even leaking up here at the top. This is just a bad hose. So this is was a brand new Rein, R-E-I-N hose that I got from FCP Euro. 2 days later I checked on it and it was leaking a little bit from right here. So as you can see, I put 2 hose clamps on here.
We can't, really.
Just trying to add some clamping force to it, and it still leaks out a little bit. Up here is actually starting to leak as well. I can see some seepage.
But don't worry, I'll contain the seepage.
Up under this like metal clamp that's on there. It's not a serviceable clamp. It's just one of the factory ones that they crimp on there. So I don't know if it's just a bad quality hose or if the brand was bad, but it had 30-something positive reviews, so I felt pretty confident with it. I did get another free one from FCP Euro because they were like, well, if it's broken from factory, we'll definitely replace it. So I have a brand new one that we're going to throw on here, and we're going to hope that fixes it. If not, I'm just going to buy an OEM one. So this here is a brand new hose. I'm hoping that this one does not leak right away. You know, maybe at least give me a month of use out of it before it starts leaking. So let's get this one taken off. I think what I'm going to try and do is pop this side off down here that is tied into the top of the radiator. Pull that off, and then with a hose clamp, or not a hose clamp, with a pair of vice grips on the hose itself, just to keep any coolant from coming out. And then from there, tip it up, clamp it down here as well. Hopefully minimize the amount of coolant that's going to leak out in that point. But we'll stuff towels and stuff down there too. We're going to start with hose clamping this bottom side down here. I'm going to use this pair of vice grips on it. Let's go somewhere maybe like right here. The less fluid I lose, the easier my life is going to be. So this right here, we're only going to lose, you know, that little bit of fluid down there. And then we'll stuff some towels below it just to make sure. You can never have too many microfiber towels. Just a great asset all around. Because I really don't want to leave this one to leak on there because it's close to the, what's it called? Close to the exhaust headers, and the carb was just on, so it would go make some smoke. Be very dramatic. I need a flathead. So let's get a hose clamp, or not a hose clamp, a vice grip up here on this one. I really don't care about the quality of the hose anymore, just because since I'm replacing it, it doesn't really matter. So let's pop this little safety clip up. This line is full of coolant. I'm gonna get one more towel for that just to be safe. Get this off and hope for no mess. Oh, look at that. So good. Exactly like we planned. Okay. So we're going to pull this one off. I think it should be about the same. You know, not a whole lot of liquid will come out. A little bit, of course, but oh, so it's like nothing. Nice. Connect it from its little perch here. That would be like that, wouldn't it? So we got to unplug our radiator fan real quick, just for the ease of removing this thing. Okay, so there you go. Coolant hose is officially removed. We lost very little coolant out of it. The little section that has 2 hose clamps on it, it almost appears like the plastic line that clips into the top of the radiator fan. It's like internal, that line has a split in it or something. Yeah.
Nice.
Just pour coolant anywhere you want it. It's like it's got a split in, or the hose has a break in it, like in the membrane or something, and coolant is just passing through. So I tried everything I could. Let's throw this new hose on and see if we do not have a non-leaking system. First, let's clean this coolant up a little bit. All right, so that's awesome. I'm actually really pleased with that. I'm gonna leave this here just in case it decides to do something funky. Same thing with that one right there. But realistically, what I'm thinking about doing, put the new hose on, open this up, pour whatever's in there into here, and then call it good to go. That's probably the route that we're gonna end up going, so let's get that swapped over real quick and make sure we don't forget to plug that in. Okay, so let's grab this new hose here and pop it in. We're gonna hope, like I said, this will be our second brand new hose. So we'll see if it decides to leak or not. This one, it feels a little more robust than the first one that I got, if I'm being honest. Like, it doesn't feel as flimsy, so I'm appreciating that already. That also could be wishful thinking. I'm very aware of that. This retainer clip pushed up out of the way. I don't know. Just everything seems a bit better about this one. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. We do need to rob the hose clamp off the end of this one. You know, there was nothing wrong with the hose clamp. And now, let's get this sucker put on here. So let's do this side first and get that put on there. There we go. Okay. So now that that's all the way on, we'll push that tab down, and that is now fully good to go. So now with our salvaged hose clamp, we're going to throw this on this end down here. Make sure that we route everything appropriately. Let's try our best to. If this doesn't work, we'll just go and get an OEM one. More expensive, yes, but if it's for sure gonna work, you know, then whatever, I'll just replace it. So, new expansion coolant line, good to go. From here, let's check our coolant level. I want to, so we did lose a little bit, and you can see remnants of it on the front of the, not the valve cover, but the plastic guard that goes over the engine. So I know we lost a little bit, but I'm kind of curious if we actually do need any. So you can see there that we are a little bit above the minimum. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw in the coolant that was inside this hose here.
That's not very sanitary.
So now, good to go. So something that I think I'm going to do with this hose and the other bad one that I had, I'm gonna get a piece of stainless or something that is non-corrosive that can be in a coolant system and replace this plastic piece with the metal piece. I think that you can do everything without having to actually bend it and get it out of the way, and it would never break. So I might take this and use this as my donor, just so, since I have the hose pieces that are already formed what they need to be, and then just fix the connections that are bad. This is a part that for 335i owners, you should have one, like just one on standby at all times. Your old parts, you can kind of upcycle them and upgrade them into good backup parts. Here's the thing, my car's not even that low. Doesn't need much, just needs a little bit. So this one can get under the that front brace that it has. Okay. It's just that easy. Reason number 72 why I need a lift. Let's get the car up off the ground. Actually, before we full on commit, let's make sure that we're on what we think we're on, because it was pretty dark. It's just better to be safe than sorry.
That's not safe.
Alright, good enough for me. What is that? I thought I saw some wet oil. My heart did a little skip. I'm gonna guarantee we need more. Like so much more, holy shit. Here, what if we just do this one? We go down a setting. Oh, we can fit that one. See, it's just oil. We don't have to go, we're not gonna be out of them for a while. We don't need to be comfortable, it just needs to be convenient. These jack stands are older than I am. Throw this down. And let's see if we can't drain this oil. It's either a 17 or an 18. Well, it's not an 18, so let's hope it's a 17. It is, but it's kind of a... Ouch, okay. That'll work. So, it's loose enough. I've conveniently left this jack here, but I'm already under the car. So what I'm going to do is just do this and hope that it doesn't tip over and spill. That's where we're at with it. I'm going to try and be quick enough here that we don't get any oil on us, but we'll see. So everyone's got their own method of how they can get the oil plug out without getting stuff all over themselves. I have my own, of course.
This should be good.
It obviously doesn't work. No oil or no metal really on there. That's good. So we're gonna let this drain. Ow. Sway bar. And this is only a 5-quart thing, so we might have to put this plug back in halfway through. It'll just make it easier to take it out and drain it. Put it in my 5-gallon bucket. I'm gonna throw this plug back in. We'll drain what we have out of this thing, and then come back and finish it. Just be easier on us. All right, so I've got this nice gear oil bucket that I've had for a long time. I got it from like my first job, I think. It's pretty convenient. I think any 5-gallon bucket with a lid will work. But what I do is I fill this with whatever motor oil that I use. And then whenever this gets full, I take it down to...
Dump it all in the woods.
I think that all auto parts stores will recycle oil for you. It's just a kind of a nice, easy way. A little bit cleaner than having a bunch of the gallons hanging around. So now that we drain that out, let's jump back into the car and finish draining the oil. Throw this back up here. Take this back out. So this will get all the oil drained out of the car. Then we'll go up top and we will do the filter as well. I see nothing on the end of this plug. I hope this is magnetic. I could be wrong. Yeah, well, hold on. I am wrong. Okay, well, that's interesting. So, I thought this was magnetic. I've tried everything under here, even the jack. So it's not magnetic. Okay, so we will order a magnetic drain plug just for that little bit of peace of mind. It'd be kind of a cool thing to have. So this oil's, it's almost finished draining out. It wasn't sparkly at all. I didn't see anything bad about it, so I think we're okay. But we'll know for sure once we cut the filter apart. My oil pan gasket is leaking like every other 335i owner in the world, but like every 335i owner in the world, I also don't want to fucking do it. I've contemplated doing it whenever I do the single turbo because I think that would be a little bit of an easier thing to like I already have to take out a lot of this stuff and move things out of the way. So because I already have to do that, why not just finish it out with the oil pan gasket because we'll be here. So we're gonna let this dribble for a while, and while it's doing that, we're gonna go up top and we're gonna do the filter. So the N54s have a canister style oil filter. I recommend buying these little tools for them. I think I got this at O'Reilly's or something like that. Compared to having to put like vice grip or something crazy on it, like this is just so much easier. I bet you'll never guess where I got this filter from. Amazon. I've not figured out a better way to do this. If anybody else has a better way to do this shit, let me know, because it's a pain. But I just pack paper towels around it, so whenever I take it off, it doesn't just ooze everywhere. Do one more, and then we will send it. I'm hoping that most of it's drained out. I'll take it. So we will set this to the side. Give that a little bit of a clean here in a minute. Just grab this filter out and let's cut it apart and see what we see inside. Pretty confident that we're going to be okay on that filter, but it's always a good idea to check. So this is ready for the new filter whenever we are ready to put it back on. So I think there are actual tools for cutting these things. I just buy the cheap X-Acto knife thingies and I cut the ends of it. It seems to work okay. Okay. Now that it's apart that way, take it, slice it in half, pull it apart. That's how you check. If you got metal in your oil, so what we'll do is we'll take this light, we'll shine it through here and see if we see anything shiny, which I do not. So we're good to go. Now that we've verified we don't have any oil, not oil, metal. Now that we for sure know we don't have any metal in our oil filter, let's throw a new filter in here. So this filter is a 20,000 mile filter. I change the oil in this car every 5,000 miles. I've been changing this filter every time. I think starting now, I'm gonna do it every 10,000, so every other oil change, just because it's unnecessary. We got new copper crush gasket, and we got 2 new O-rings. The oil cap itself has 2 O-rings on it, that when you get the new filter, you also get these O-rings. I'm gonna get a pick actually. So let's get these out of here. Go. Picks are such a dangerous little fucking tool. I've caused myself so much harm with with a little pick set. It's ridiculous. Let's get these new O-rings on here. And then, I can't be the only one that does not change the O-rings and shit every single time. It's so much work. Not really. I just look at it and I see it, I'm like, yeah, it's not necessary this time. Next time. Next time we'll do it. And then I get to it next time, like, you know, I mean, it's still looking pretty good. Always lube your seals. Okay, so that is good to go. These filters, I don't believe, have any sort of like directionality. You just pop it in. Well, put it on this first, then pop it in. So take this, leak oil all the fuck over everything under your hood. That's a must. So you throw that on there without leaking oil everywhere. And then from here, you just screw it in. That is a new oil filter. Usually at this point, like what I try to do is check my belts and check, I said belts, belta, just because if you do shred a serpentine belt, it can be kind of troublesome. Check the pulleys, just look for anything that seems kind of off. Let's throw this new copper, let's not lose it first. Let's throw this copper crush gasket on there, and then we'll add some oil, we'll be good to go. I always check these things to see if there's like a directionality thing. There never really is. Just like washers. You know, I think like the great debate of mechanics is, are washers directional? I'm on the side of yes, they are. Not all of them are, but I have seen more directional. Let me know in the comments what y'all think about the great debate of that. New copper crush gasket is installed. Let's get this big old thing of oil out of the way. Tighten it down. Good enough. New copper crush gasket, torqued to spec, obviously. And let's crawl out of here, dispose of this extra oil, and then let's fill it back up. So I have a super fancy strut brace. It runs across where the oil goes in every time I'm backwards. Oh, okay, that's not the right size. So, like I was saying, I have this, oh man, I got it dirty. I have this cool strut brace that I have to take off every time I want to add oil to the car. Well, not all the way off, I just have to take it halfway off. So it's not the end of the world. But it's worth it. I honestly was very skeptical when I bought this strut brace, just because I was thinking, how much could it actually do? Like tying it to itself. How much rigidity could it really provide with just these, you know, seemingly kind of flimsy mounts. And it really did improve it a little bit. It seems more planted in the front. So all that we have to do is add oil, and we are finished. This car takes 6.9 quarts.
Nice.
I do 7, always have, always will. It leaks a little, and it's done well for me, but you do whatever your heart desires. The great N54 oil debate, I'll settle it here. T6 Rotella, 5W40.
We just can't see it.
For my application, just where I live, this works best. It's what I'll always put in the car for sure. So I'm gonna try to use no funnel, just because I really don't want to get a funnel out, but we'll see how humbling this is. Okay. I didn't spill a fucking drop. Oh my God. All right, so that's the first time that's ever gone perfect. Let's see if I can get this twice in a row. Yep, I missed.
I missed.
What does that mean?
It can't all be good. Okay, let's see if we can redeem ourselves from spilling. We're we're 1 for 2 here. Let's see if we can try to get a good one. We just need a little bit off of this one. I mean, minimal spillage. I'll give it a B, maybe a B+. Ah, fuck. Okay, definitely not a B+ anymore. Alright, just a splash more and then we're done. Damn. I'm all over the place. The pressure's getting to me. Alright, our 7-ish quarts are added. It's always something. You know, you can try to be so clean, but no matter what, you're gonna make a mess. fact. Put that crank down. At least oil makes things shiny. So the strut brace back on. Anyone that is curious, this is a Megan Racing strut brace. Makes the car look kind of cool under the hood. Adds to the rigidity of the car. It's a cheap kind of a cool upgrade you can do. So strut brace back together. Got oil in the car. New drain plug. Crush gasket. Drain plug's torqued in there. I think we're good to go. Fresh oil change. Fresh expansion tank radiator hose. That's good to go as well. So let's get the car on the ground and start it up.